What up, what up, what up?
What up?
Who that?
It's me, Dan.
Daniel, son. What is up, dude?
Not much, just out for a walk. It's gorgeous. 59.
Yeah, bro, you take those days we can get them for now.
Oh, yeah.
Once we get into May, though, you should be mostly, like, home free, you know?
Oh, yeah. I think we're out of the woods now.
The doldrums of the winter.
We are.
What up to the rest of my panel? I see Carlos, Brian, and Dennis. What is?
Not too much. What's going on? Dennis, what's going on? Carlos, Dan, everybody, what's going on?
Hey. How's it going?
Yo,
today's a good day.
And then get back in, Los. We got a little static.
How do I sound? I'm on Los Red hotspot.
Terrific.
Yep. Los hooked me up.
Don't tell Dennis you're on Verizon. You don't want to do that.
What do you mean? I got a Lowe's red line too. Listen, I can hate the company and respect their network.
Sure, I get it. I know. I'm with you on that.
Who's gonna complain when you got some good C-band? You know.
Facts.
I mean, Pittsburgh does have some pretty good C-band. I won't lie. It's decent.
Not good in my area. Go ahead.
Sneed, I'm being quiet, as you can see. I haven't said anything, right? So you can't blame me. I didn't even say anything about this.
You didn't even have. You didn't have to say anything. I'm already singing Verizon's praises.
Damn.
Hey,
I'm doing it for you,
look!
Brian.
I promise you right now, if anyone comes to Pittsburgh, you'll know who the best network is, at least in this city.
Let me guess, AT&T.
It's very clear. It's just very clear.
I kind of figured.
You know what? I admire Dennis. I admire Dennis's consistency because I'm the exact same way. So I admire it 100%.
Hey, I don't shill for anybody, man.
Hey, listen, I just wish I could get paid to be a shill, but
right.
No.
I'd love to be paid to just sing praises, man, but they won't give me any money, man. They won't pay me.
I know.
Nobody wants to pay me on it.
So, what topics do we got lined up tonight, Sneed Man?
Okay, so T-Mobile did a thing today.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Yep, that's right. We're gonna put it on nice and thick, bro. All right.
Oh no, magenta cake.
So, yes, lots of magenta layered cake. Yes. A sad day. No Neville Ray.
Oh.
Yeah, no Neville today, so it was weird not seeing him up there. It looks like that whole Ulf Wildelson or whatever. I forget his last name.
Did we have a John Saw sighting?
No John Saw. No network guys, actually.
So,
I
just want to make sure I understand, Sneed. The guy Wolf is he's a former Ericsson executive, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's a good thing, or are we still bashing Ericsson and former Ericsson executives? I just want to make sure I understand.
Oh, I see where he's going with this.
Brian,
I believe in keeping the same energy around here. I just want to make sure in 2023 we're doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're doing it,
bro.
All right. I'm shutting up. Continue.
Hey, Brian. Wolf, he's nuts, bro. There you go.
Is he selling Wolf tickets?
He might be selling some Wolf tickets,
bro. I'm heated on Eugene Sneed, so I'm gonna bring the heat on you tonight, bro.
Okay.
I'm going in hard on that Wolf ticket, blood sucking scumbag.
Uh-oh.
All right, look. Let me get everybody on the topics we're going to discuss. We got the T-Mobile thing that they did, the earnings report. Now that we had AT&T first last week, we got Verizon early this week, and then we got T-Mobile today. So now we have the three of the big.
Comcast also reported earnings today as well.
That's right, Brandon. So we could talk about that a little bit. I think that's fair. We can look at the broadband side. All right, so we'll do that, and then AT&T is expanding fiber, so we'll discuss that. And then there's a little bit on Frontier, and I think that is going to possibly implicate merger acquisition season, which I think is going to happen really soon. Like I'm talking like within the next 2 years. So we'll do that, and then we got some new spectrum that's probably coming to market.
Really?
And
Auction 108?
No, it's the 12 gigahertz frequency. So that's what I believe is going to end up going to fixed wireless access. It's going to be a big boom for fixed wireless access capacity, right? So that, everybody's been like, oh, we need
Yep,
more
they're gonna
uplink
rob
and
us.
we need more capacity. That's going to be the relief, 12 gigahertz.
Yeah, of course.
It's basically millimeter wave, right? Basically,
At the expense of Dish getting robbed. I know.
No. Well, that's the thing. We have to. I mean, I'm in support of Dish having some dibs on some of that spectrum and getting them set up nicely. The problem is, Los, is that Dish ain't shit. If they were a good company with respect to customers and executives and dealers, I'd be more supportive. But I do believe in trying to create a competitive marketplace. So giving them a boost in this case would make sense.
I have a question.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
So does America believe, like the telecommunications industry believes in millimeter wave now? And like that's a thing? People are racing to go get that?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're big on it. I think our community is pretty vocal. I mean, with the exception of, I think, maybe less than 50% for sure, but I was going to say about 25% of the SMT nation probably doesn't like millimeter wave. I'd say out of every 4, 3 people are proponents of millimeter wave.
That's interesting.
But that's
So-
the
Yeah, I don't
SMT
care
nation,
for
and
it.
I would say that we're a much more informed, consumer base than the average Joe.
I would agree with that 100%. So just so we're clear, millimeter wave is a thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And who-
Make
and who-
millimeter wave great again.
Who started? So which company started that?
T-Mobile.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
Cellular.
So we lying now, Steve? We lying now, man?
Yeah, we capping on Thursday night. No, it
We
goes,
capping out here, man. Hey, yo, Los, get him,
Come on,
man.
man.
Get him, Los.
Oh man,
Bro,
Cleveland
you
was
know
one of the
who it
first
was, bro.
markets, man. So
It was one of the
Bro.
first markets. That's true.
What are you talking about, bro? You telling me that T-Mobile's the one that did millimeter wave? Are you serious, bro?
they were the ones. Yes.
He's being
Yeah,
facetious.
bro.
He's being facetious, Los. He's being
Bro,
facetious.
Start using
man.
the big words, bro. Don't use the big words now.
I gotta get the I gotta get the dictionary out.
He's equivocating.
Yes.
bro.
Come on, man.
Wait, Sprint did millimeter wave first.
Oh
Did they?
shit. Oh come on. Come on.
Hey, they did N41 first.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. All right. What do you guys?
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to start, man?
I guess we can talk about T-Mobile's financials. Let's go ahead and debunk some of these lies that they told today. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they did not lead the industry in profitability. That is bull. Excuse me, Steve.
Yeah.
That is, you know what it is. That's horse manure.
Hold on. Let
All those free lines they're selling.
Hold on, let
Exactly.
him go over the financials real quick, bro, because I really want to go in on this, bro. Because
Okay,
there's one
all right.
part. There's one part that I really want to go into that he said.
All right. This is from the tmobile.com website. T-Mobile delivers industry-leading growth in customers and profitability. Q1 2023 raises 23 guidance. They're executing on its differentiated strategy with its unique combination of best network and best value, including recent launch of Phone Freedom and the new Go 5G Plus plan.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here are the numbers. Postpaid net account additions, 287,000, best in industry. Postpaid net customer additions of 1.3 million, more than AT&T and Verizon combined, and raising guidance for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Postpaid phone net customer additions, 538,000, higher share of industry net adds year over year. Postpaid phone churn, 0.89%, only operator to improve year over year. High-speed internet net customer additions of 523,000, more than AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, and Charter combined for the 4th consecutive quarter.
Also cap.
All right, let's
Brian,
breathe.
you're
Let's
not going to
breathe
like
in.
it. I was one of those additions, man.
Oh, how could you do this to us? How could
I
you
was
do
an
this to
addition.
us?
I was an addition also, man.
Steve.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. I got a T-Mobile business home internet now.
And I'm taking your Christmas present back to the store, man.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Brian.
Go ahead,
Listen.
Steve. I'm sorry, man.
Listen, man. So that's what they're reporting. All right. They you want to get to the financials now that we did all the ads?
Yeah, let's talk about money.
Okay, money talk. I like this. Service revenues 15.5 billion grew an industry-leading 3% year over year, including industry-leading postpaid service revenue growth 6% year over year. Net income 1.9 billion. It grew 172% year over year. Diluted earnings per share EPS $1.58, which grew 177% year over year, best in industry growth. Core adjusted EBITDA $7.1 billion, growing 9% year over year, best in industry growth, raising guidance. Net cash provided by operating activities, $4.1 billion, growing 5% year over year, higher margins year over year, and raising guidance. Adjusted free cash flow came in at $2.4 billion, growing 46% year over year, best in industry margins and raising guidance. And then they went ahead and did some share buybacks, 33 million of them, all right, at an estimated value of $4.8 billion. That's the money.
Share buybacks are a waste of money. Continue.
Totally. They're
no, let 'em-
billion for cash flow.
No, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Say that again.
Me?
Yeah, say that again.
I said share buybacks.
Well, no, that's true, and I agree with you, Dennis. There was someone else who said something about.
Oh, I was just saying they're under $3 billion for cash flow.
Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to figure out how that's the most profitable. In the title, let me see. Growth and profitability, industry leading growth in customers and profitability. Where's the industry leading profitability? Didn't they report what, 3.2 billion in free cash flow?
2.3 billion.
Yes, and total wireless service revenue at Verizon last quarter was 18.9 billion, which was also a 3% increase year over year. So I'm just trying to figure out how
T-Mobile came in at the same. T-Mobile increased at the same rate, but had less revenue at 15.5 billion.
So how are the industry leading 3% year over year? Where they do that at?
It says industry leading postpaid service revenue growth of 6% year over year.
Well, the first part says service revenue was a 15.5 billion.
Postpaid service revenue growth was 6%. Total service revenue increased 3%.
Well, yeah, it says service revenues of 15.5 billion grew, and industry leading 3% year over year. So based on that, wireless service revenue for Verizon was 18.9 billion, which was a 3 point.
What I'm trying to do is separate the two things. They didn't say industry leading total service revenue. They said industry leading postpaid service revenue.
Agreed. I'm not talking about total. I'm just talking about with wireless. This is not including the wireline side of Verizon's business. Just the wireless side was 18.9 billion, which is also 3% increase. So how is their increase industry leading if it's 3%? If Verizon also reported the same on just one portion of their business?
I don't know.
Continue. I just want to make sure I point out the cap.
Okay. Let's see what else. I mean, that's just the Ookla stuff here. Second quarter in a row from Ookla, they get best overall network performance. 5G from Ookla and Umlaut. I still don't know who Umlaut is. I really don't.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know. 5G network covers 98% of Americans. Ultra capacity now reaches 275 million pops.
Can I just quickly say that T-Mobile is taking absolutely forever to hit 300 million right now with this mid-band rollout. Yeah. I know the last like leg, so to speak, is going to take the longest and require the most money, because that's when you're starting to tackle the suburban and rural segments. But T-Mobile should be way close to the 300 million right now if they would have kept on track with their initial investments they were making at the onset. Does anyone know like what slowed down their progress?
It's not so much. It's not unusual slowdown. Where's my echo coming from?
Carlos. It looks. No, wait.
Is it Dan? Maybe. All right, it was Dan. All right, Dan, you're muted. We just had an echo for a minute. Okay. It's what? Okay, it was.
Dan. What about me? I don't have no idea.
No, it's not Carlos. It was Dan. Okay. All right. The situation with that, Dennis, is I think we're watching AT&T and Verizon cooking with gas, and now we're looking at T-Mobile like, why can't you get the last, 30, 40, 50, 60 million pops? Because we're watching Verizon, they added like 200 million pops in a year. That's
another
atypical.
million.
That's atypical. That's not normal. Like that's busting through the doors. AT&T came in at 160 million pops in a year, and I thought that was impressive. That's what I think the comparison to compare T-Mobile to Verizon or AT&T is a little unfair. If we would have let's say we could take the upgrade in a vacuum, we could say, okay, from day one of build, to the final day of the build, T-Mobile. I bet you it's probably 4.5 years to where they get 320 million pops. I bet you Verizon is going to be 2.5 years.
But how's it an unfair comparison? Like they literally had years of advantage as far as lead time goes.
No, it's an unfair comparison because the standard of excellence for Verizon is different. Like when I look at the Verizon network, the expectation is excellence. The expectation is trailblazing, right?
Okay,
I don't have that same standard for T-Mobile. I view T-Mobile as learning how to have excellence. Like to me, I view T-Mobile as the understudy when it comes to networking. When it comes to marketing, they're the best. When it comes to networking, I still think they're a cut below Verizon. So to me, I'm like, yeah, that's Verizon. That's what they do. I saw what they did in AWS 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about network excellence. I'm talking about getting spectrum on air.
Yeah, speed's part of excellence, Dennis. You have to build it. Right? Isn't it a dedication? Isn't that part of excellence? Like you can't just lollygag. You have to do it fast and good.
Yeah, their flywheel isn't nearly as good as Verizon is. Nobody builds networks better than Verizon does. And I think that's what Sneed's trying to say. When it comes to, executing on something over and over and over and over and over again, that predictable excellence, Verizon's really, really elite at that. And T-Mobile is still learning how to get that stuff done, especially as you get, like Dennis was saying before, into the more challenging areas of the network to go and build out. They're probably in rural America right now. Rural America is more challenging to build out in than New York City is.
Yeah, but I feel like we're getting off the main focus point, which is more along the lines of
how are we off the focus?
My
point stands. We're used to Verizon. That has set the standard in pace. Now we're watching T-Mobile slow down because they can't sustain a pace like that. They don't know how to do it. There's no precedence of them doing that. Verizon did this already with AWS. This is even faster. Right? So if Verizon never started building 5G UW, you would say that, oh, T-Mobile's doing a really nice job. They're working fast. But now that we've seen what Verizon can do in 1 year, it's like comparing it. That's why I'm saying it's not really fair. Verizon's the gold standard for pace.
Yeah, but what I want to dig into more so specifically is why. Why are they slowing down? Because they didn't have any problems initially, right? Like, as you said, in a vacuum, they were doing very strong initial deployment. What changed?
I've got an answer. I would say in the rural areas, it's difficult to get fiber out there. They maybe run into some, issues as far as with microwave, backhaul, or something along those lines. But when you don't own any fiber, I mean, that may be, something that's slowing down their pace, trying to get those circuits. They may be waiting for fiber providers to get them the circuit or build them the circuits that they need. It may not be 100% on T-Mobile. I don't know. But, I mean, when you're not an owner of supplies and equipment and, assets, then you're at the mercy of whomever is supplying you with said assets. That may have something to do with it.
Yeah, but even if we ignore rural for a moment, there's still large swaths of suburban and even urban where N41 isn't even deployed. Like, look, if you were to pull up like the Pittsburgh coverage map, right, and look at it today compared to 2 years ago, there has not been a single shade of additional magenta added.
They still call those pops.
Dennis, I have areas here, bro, where literally there's not even N41 on the tower. It's still the 2019 upgrade, and that's it.
Well,
I mean, there's still sites that are freaking needing to be converted off of Sprint. They said that was basically done, right? And there's still old legacy Sprint sites operating.
Well, T-Mobile trash, so that may have something to do with it too.
I mean, I didn't say that. But
no, I said it, but I didn't. It's cool.
But like something changed, right? Like what? Like it doesn't make logical sense, right? Like they're spending, like they didn't even have any necessarily like special spending budgets that I'm aware of allocated N41 like Verizon and AT&T did for C-band. So like their spending hasn't changed that much as far as like a CapEx for network spend, has it?
Well, it went down. It went down. It decreased. So that may have something to do with it too. They may not have the money to invest in getting to those last miles. I mean, it's more expensive. They're getting to the most expensive portions of the build in the rural and the suburban areas. So that may have something to do with it too. So, I mean, remember, we're talking about a company that, thinks it's, a great thing that they're posting the profitability that they are. Meanwhile, AT&T and Verizon have way more cash on hand to be able to do what it is that they do. So,
But I also blame politics because I was just in California recently, and there's still some areas where even Verizon and AT&T don't even have coverage, and none of them have coverage. And that's one of the things that I've learned about a year is talking with Art Waves is that sometimes there's a lot of politics more than money involved.
All I'm saying is it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand what's going on with T-Mobile, and the reason why I focus on N41 in particular is because that has been the lifeblood of their substantial growth that they're seeing from a revenue standpoint, specifically with their fixed wireless that they want to sell, right? N41 is a crucial element for them. They're not doing millimeter wave deployment. They're solely focused on a macro-based fixed wireless solution. N41 is an absolute requirement if they want to be able to sustain subscriber growth and subscriber retention. So
I think another angle to this is the fact that, in the history of the T-Mobile company, they have not had the free cash flow to be able to do multiple things at the same time. Like we've seen Verizon upgrade macros and small cells, continue to build them and do millimeter wave, and like we've seen these things. So that's something we know that Verizon can handle. We've seen AT&T densify with C-RAN, do fiber, and do wireless. We've seen those things. We don't have any type of underlying precedence of T-Mobile being able to multitask at that capacity. They've never been that big of a company yet. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you, that kind of lends more to what I've been saying the last few podcasts. I mean, momentum for them is starting to slow. They did say it even in their quarterly results today. They're down in a lot of their growth. We're starting to see things kind of slow down a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, me personally, as AT&T and Verizon continue to build out their network at these, breakneck speed type paces, I mean, shoot, I can see churn for both of those companies going down to historical rates, and them being, the first and second place as far as
who's churn dropping.
Both companies, AT&T and Verizon.
They got higher churn than they did last year at this time.
All right, so let me try to be more specific. Churn did decrease for Verizon year over year, but I'm talking about as they continue to build out their respective C-band networks, their respective mid-band networks. I think what we'll see is churn continue to go down for both of those particular companies, because the latest and greatest will be out, and then of course they'll have the ability to really have the apples to apples comparison as far as network performance is concerned. Because right now you got 200 million pops for Verizon, 160 million for AT&T, and what did T-Mobile just announce? What they got? What
275?
275. Okay, so we're not even really comparing apples to apples. Furthermore, they've got more of their frequencies, more of their spectrum actually deployed. Verizon, announced not too long ago that they're just now starting to turn up 100 megs of C-band, but most of the country of that 200 million is still only transmitting at 60 megahertz. I'm not sure where AT&T is. I think they're at 40. I'm not for sure. Dennis may be able to speak to that, but we're not even really comparing apples to apples. So even the speed stuff that they're talking about right now, it's not even apples to apples. They've deployed pretty much all the spectrum that they have. Verizon's only, what we're talking about, a third. I think they've got an average of 161 across the country. They're only doing 60. Some of the areas they've got 200 megs. I mean, they're just now scratching the surface.
I don't see churn going down for Verizon or AT&T for that matter, because it's not a matter of AT&T and Verizon's problem was never a network problem for consumers, period. Like, their networks were already good. You ask the everyday consumer, they don't even know what, like, they see the 5G icon, they don't even know what the difference is between the UC and the UW and the regular. It's all the same to them. Like, it was never a network problem for these guys. Verizon's main problem, we talked about this on the last time I was on the show, is pricing. Until Verizon addresses their pricing issue and their customer service issue, right? Because they go hand in hand, right? Like, people are willing to tolerate a lot worse customer service to the
What pricing issue?
What pricing issue? Pricing's up on
What
T-Mobile.
pricing issue?
They're the same. They're the same exact price. That is an out of date. It's an outdated narrative. It's no longer accurate. It's no longer valid. They are charging the exact same thing as Verizon is. T-Mobile.
No,
the exact same thing. Yes, they're both at $90. Yes, they are.
You're looking at that on paper at face value, but T-Mobile is significantly cheaper because they're constantly doing free line deals. They're constantly doing insider discounts.
No, you can price the 3 lines. So like 3 lines of Magenta, 3 lines of Go 5G Plus is $150.
It's $140 right now. Steve, did you not see the thing on Reddit? T-Mobile's doing the third free line deal again on that.
I know there's a third. Yeah, it's $150.
Even then, Dennis. But even then, Dennis, not all the time the consumers are going to be able to get that deal.
T-Mobile basically has a free line deal all year round. I haven't seen a time when they haven't had one. In the
right,
last, like, 6 years.
They have the free line deals become a staple. But what I'm saying is, I can get 2 Start Unlimited and a Go Do More, Play More, or a Get More. I can pick one of those premium ones, and my bill is going to come out to $165 after taxes with auto pay on Verizon. So
after
it's a $15.
Tax?
Yes. So Dennis, I just did the video.
Yeah, I mean,
the website. You guys remember the video? It was 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
I remember. Mix and match is what he's talking about, and it does equalize the level of the playing field.
Then I think you have a thing, because like, let's say you get the 3 lines, and let's say one of them is the 5G. What is it? Go 5G Plus. Then the one of them could be the regular Go 5G, and the other one could be the free one, whatever it is. And then if it comes in at like $140, well, now you have a $25 difference. Right now, that's substantial, because you can legitimately say, oh, that's 20% difference, 15% pricing difference. Right now, it's like 5%, Dennis.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yes, okay, you're talking about ways that you can get the pricing down, but now you're no longer doing an apples-to-apples comparison of plans at that point, right? Because you're sacrificing...
I can never do apples-to-apples because they don't mix and match. That's my point.
All they do is free lines. I mean, at the end of the day, the only way to do an apples-to-apples comparison is to compare the price plans before any discounting at all. And at the same... I mean, like, if you do that, their most expensive plan is $90. Verizon's most expensive plan right now is $90. So... they're charging the exact same price point as Verizon is for their premium offering. So I don't think it's an out of date narrative to continue to say Verizon's pricing is so bad. If T-Mobile has now matched that very price, the price point is exactly the same.
Look, I could also just do Welcome Unlimited. If you guys really want to do that, if I do Welcome Unlimited, what is 3 lines? $90?
Verizon's issue isn't price. I agree with Sneed. He's been saying it time and time. It's the customer experience. That's what they've got to fix. That's it. Everything else,
there's ways the network to get Verizon at a lower price, but I think people are just so used to saying it's pricing, but it's really not.
Yeah, man, it's an out-of-date narrative.
It is pricing if you're getting their most expensive plan on all their lines. Yeah, that'll be pricey. If that's the case, Dennis, then what you're saying holds true.
I mean, right? if you talk to most people, right, they're not doing like this strategic mix and match, because it's not something that like it's
but
not
then
like.
Why does Verizon allow them to do it if they can't?
Because it's kind of like if they don't
no,
hold up. Let's rewind for a second. Sneed, it's kind of like how cable, right? Because you hate cable companies, right?
I do.
Cable companies always have little hidden like I'll use an example. Internet Essentials, right, from Comcast, $10 a month. A lot of Americans can qualify for Internet Essentials, but no one really takes advantage of it, or they didn't start taking advantage of it in a large amount until Comcast started running it on their IVRs whenever you'd call in about asking about Internet Essentials because of all the different stuff the government was doing, right? Before it used to be kind of like hush-hush, right? And no one used to take advantage of it. In the same vein, Verizon might have mix and match. It might be something that can help out a lot of consumers, especially if you have a talented, trained agent who's going over how this can help the customer, but they don't talk about it. And I guarantee you, if you talk to any Verizon representative or agent, I guarantee you from like a commissions and sales standpoint, they're not going to sell out of their own pocket. They're going to put you on the line, and you're just going to assume that is what it is. It's not very transparent. It's not like Fios where where Verizon literally runs ads about how you can mix and match 300 by 300 megabit per second internet with insert your TV bundle back in the day, and there was literally commercials on every freaking TV station between.
So what are we actually arguing right now?
What I'm getting at is right. You're talking about consumers have this, in theory, can have price comparableness to T-Mobile, right? But the reality is, if you look at the average cell phone wireless customer's bill, they're not doing the mix and match. They're paying for whatever it is. Probably the Go 5G, the one that includes Hulu and stuff, right? The streaming edition. They're probably paying for that. Probably $40 more. They look at Magenta MAX. They see it's like $40 less with the free line deal, and that's the comparison that most consumers are making. They're comparing these two somewhat premium plans, right? And they're like, "Wow, T-Mobile's a lot cheaper. Tax and fees are already included. I don't have to worry about all this stuff." And they see the $40 savings. They're like, worth it to me.
Well, I'll tell you, if that's the case, you got to, the consumer has to own that, because if they're misinformed and making those, misinformed decisions, that's kind of on them. But to the point about customer care and the customer experience, if they're interfacing with Verizon's customer care at all, hopefully they are, as a method to try to save business, letting customers know that they have the ability to mix and match. That's not new. I have seen, communications about that and advertisements about that. That is something that Verizon has made known to the public. If they don't still don't know about it, I guess that's on them. But at the same time, it has been discussed. It's not a new plan, or it's not a new feature or anything like that. It is and has been available for quite some time.
Bro, I want to get into this free line situation.
Wait,
I need to, bro. I need to. You don't understand. I need to. Sneed, I need your blessing on this, bro.
There's one thing though. The only way you can make Verizon as cheap as T-Mobile is to get your additional lines on the lower plan. T-Mobile is cheaper if all 4 lines have the 5G Go.
Well,
than if all 4 lines have Get More.
I'm not even saying you got to make it cheaper. It's almost impossible to make it cheaper. But it's possible to make it price competitive, right?
Yeah, but you're still looking at $220 on Verizon with 4 lines of Get More versus 4 lines of the 5G Go.
I already stated that. I already acknowledged
even with the auto
pay. What I'm
pay.
saying is if you're pricing and you're in a market where T-Mobile has a less than Verizon network, in a market where Verizon network isn't good enough, then you should definitely be exploring other options. But I'm saying if the networks aren't the issue and you're just looking at pricing, there's ways to bring the pricing for Verizon down if the Verizon network is that much better and you're fighting for that network access.
And that argument, though, is similar to saying there's ways to bring cable costs down. You just have to give up your favorite channels. But
that's not what you have to do with Verizon. Everybody talked about how they don't necessarily need all of the things that come with 5G Get More. So if that's the case,
the analogy was a little bit grandiose, but the point stands is that, the reason that if you're going to pay to be on Verizon, right, you're doing it because the Verizon network's probably better in your area or better for your needs, right? To then try to, quote unquote, save money or get it to be in a budget-friendly place by reducing your plan down to some deprioritized plan that's way overpriced compared to the MVNO options that are on Verizon, mind you. And then say that this is a fair comparison to T-Mobile that's giving you the uncapped, unlimited priority data, 50 gigs of hotspot, every bell and whistle under the sun, and saying, this is price competitive. It's not anymore. You're losing.
To show you, Dennis, how I really believe this. To show you how AT&T and Verizon are going to respond, I think they're going to raise pricing.
Like I said, as they should.
I legitimately think that by T-Mobile raising pricing on these new Go 5G plans, I think Verizon is going to go up $5-10. I think AT&T is going to go up $5-10. They're literally going to say our networks are better. We want more money. If they can raise pricing and get away with it, so can we. And our networks are better.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't they do that? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why that wouldn't be the response. And it may not be now, but
right or wrong, right or wrong, I'm telling you, if they haven't already met about this, they're meeting about it this week.
I mean, I believe you that they'll raise pricing in some way or another, whether it be another hidden fee spike or whatever. That being said, it just goes back to my argument, which is that churn won't go down. It'll stay up or increase because the pricing increased.
I disagree. Listen, if
customer service,
if the churn doesn't go up at T-Mobile, then I won't say it will go up at AT&T or Verizon.
But at T-Mobile, you have people that are grandfathered, and this is only impacting new customers, right?
There are people who are grandfathered in at AT&T and Verizon too. That's
when
industry-wide.
when Verizon does a price increase, 9 times out of 10 it's hitting all customers because they're retroactively hitting it on the fees.
Bro,
And you don't think the same is going to happen with T-Mobile?
T-Mobile doesn't have any fees to hit unless you're talking about the one-time
not
in-store.
Not yet, but they've already warned their customers that they may do away with that particular feature or that particular perk or add-on. They may do away with that. So like,
and if they do, and you'll see T-Mobile and you'll see me complaining about. But right now, the only fees that T-Mobile has that they can increase are what Sneed was touching on, which is the one-time activation fee,
which is standard activation fee that it covers every device on the network.
Yeah,
which they've already done. That was the first one, the first bill to drop, or the first shoe to drop. I mean, who's to say that who's to say they won't do something else? They've already increased prices as soon as they were legally allowed to. They've increased prices. Now they're charging the same thing as Verizon is. Now I understand, like Dennis said, there are ways to get around in free lines and all the other mess. Okay, fine, but the other carriers have the ability to be able to compete and be competitively priced on that as well. Doesn't mean they're just as cheap or cheaper.
AT&T's better at adding those discounts that qualify. They're really good with stuff like that.
Absolutely agreed. That's definitely true. But that's also why they're not as profitable as Verizon is. I don't think Verizon is trying to be cheaper than anybody. And if I was them,
I didn't say that. I just said going back to the original discussion point here. What's the biggest problem for Verizon? I said it's pricing. Customer service is a problem for Verizon that needs to be addressed, but the cornerstone of it all comes down to price. Because I'm just going to put it this way. When you pay premium for, say, like an iPhone, right? You buy an iPhone 14 Pro Max. You have different expectations on how that device is going to perform as a phone than if you bought some cheap ZTE $50 Android phone, right? You have different expectations and different things you're willing to accept at the amount of money that you put into it. Verizon is charging the most, period. They are charging the most. They are charging the most. Meanwhile, the things that they are offering are not night and day. They're not different enough that most people can realistically appreciate it, right? You want to talk about how they have the best coverage? Well, as I've talked about before, it doesn't matter if they have the best coverage in the US if we're talking about a location where all the carriers are coverage competitive. You want to talk about how they have the best streaming add-on perks? We've already seen that that's not necessarily, it's a cherry on top, but it's not that successful in the wireless space in the same way people hated cable bundles when they just started including extra channels for funsies, right? They cared more about the price going up than the extra channels they got. You want to talk about how they have insert financing deals that they've been doing, because they've had some interesting ones where they had like the whole trade in a broken phone thing, I think at one point that they were doing there for a little bit. They had some interesting deals. A lot of times there's gimmicks where it's only applying for new customers. It's not like AT&T where it's being existing or new and it doesn't matter about the plan. So everything that Verizon's doing, none of it's like unique and none of it's better than any of their other competitors. And AT&T, everyone on this panel can agree, has network parity essentially with Verizon. I don't think anyone would say differently.
I do not agree with that.
Fair, fair enough. But I think most people would agree AT&T has had network parity with Verizon for a while now. And then T-Mobile, you're the only one.
You got to really nitpick to find spots where AT&T doesn't compete,
bro.
I mean, and then compete, but I don't know if compete means parity.
And then T-Mobile
is big and modern, man. It's good.
I don't disagree, but I don't think it's at parity with Verizon.
And then T-Mobile, while they might have less coverage, and I think we can all agree doesn't have industry-leading network in any sense, has a network that's at least good enough, i.e. it's like AT&T was in 2018 from an overall coverage standpoint, and it's good enough. Like, it's covering most of the parts of America that matter to a certain extent, and data speeds, while not necessarily the fastest literally everywhere, have gotten to the point where they're generally speaking usable, thanks in large part to their 600 megahertz access really saving their behinds in a lot of locations. So but that's just
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point. The last things that you said are definitely fair. I'm not sure that they'll be able to retain that network is good enough status versus what you see with AT&T and Verizon when they're still building out their network. It's not an apples to apples comparison on network performance. Yet Sneed made an entire video, an entire podcast where he went through root metrics, you know, competitive benchmarking testing to show a bunch of red everywhere in every city that's pretty much been tested so far in 2023.
Yeah, but
So
state levels, AT&T still.
You're right. State level was AT&T, but state levels and metro across the country, T-Mobile's not winning it either. It's AT&T or Verizon, and that's without them being finished with their network builds. So I just think we got to be a little bit patient and allow those two companies to catch up. And as we achieve a situation where all three carriers have the majority of America covered with at least all of the spectrum that they have available to them, then we'll find out whether churn continues to do what it's doing or whatever the case may be. But I personally believe that churn goes down for both of those companies once you have performance catch up to where it's supposed to be based on the assets that they have available. It's already happening. Verizon discussed, I know Hans, they discussed it on yesterday. I think AT&T to some degree did as well during their investor call. In areas where they have their stuff deployed already, they're already seeing churn go down. They're already seeing, data step ups and price plan and all that kind of stuff. They're already seeing the fruits of that labor. So I'm not sure why that would slow down at any point in time. It's the same thing with, their home broadband. I mean, AT&T crushed home broadband in the first quarter. Their fiber and even, some of the fixed wireless stuff that they have available, like they crushed it. Verizon did too. And that's without them even having a full network available to be able to fully compete with T-Mobile at scale across the country.
Can I get to the super chat real quick, Brent?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Big shout out to Al. Appreciate the super chat. Verizon doesn't even offer 4K streaming on 5G Get More plan. They got the best network. I think the ultra wideband gets you going on the 4K.
Exactly. Yes, it does.
So I think what you're looking for, if you're a 4K streamer, you're looking to just be on the ultra wideband as much as possible, and then it's like not something you have to think about.
And that's the majority of the country. 200 million people already have access to it, so it shouldn't even be a big issue. Go ahead.
The video thing, bro, that doesn't even matter, bro. Yesterday, bro, even today, I've been doing an experiment, bro, and nobody gives a damn about it. Only the people here give a damn about it. People don't even know about it. They don't even care. They just care that their video plays. That's all they care about.
I mean, I'm good with 1080p.
Tech guy, let's make sure that we're being accurate. So Verizon actually had postpaid additions in the first quarter. They only lost on postpaid phone ads. So let's make sure we're clear on that. They actually grew customers. Go ahead.
The numbers, bro, we got to look at these numbers because you know what, bro? A lot of people were like, oh, a lot of the customers that were leaving are leaving to AT&T or T-Mobile from Verizon when they had their churn. But if you look at it, if you do the numbers and you add them up correctly, only 10% left to AT&T and T-Mobile. The rest went to cable.
I mean,
so that means T-Mobile, the money stayed within.
Yeah, I mean, T-Mobile definitely reported, if you continue to scroll down their announcements, they have reductions or, they're seeing losing momentum as far as all of their consumer ads and things of that nature. They're not hitting on all cylinders like they were in previous quarters. Their momentum is starting to slow. So I attribute a lot of that to the MVNOs, like what Carlos is saying, but I also attribute that to Verizon and AT&T are rolling out their networks quickly as hell. So now you can't necessarily tout this network dominance, especially when you see, again, root metrics, it's a joke. I mean, come on, man. Root metrics is showing Verizon is killing it across the country. And in AT&T, to Sneed's point, is killing it on the state drives. So where is T-Mobile winning for them to be able to say, other than Umlaut or whoever the hell that is, excuse my language, like, other than Umlaut, who is saying that T-Mobile is continuing to win on anything but speed tests? Who is saying these things? It's not me. It's not Sneed. It's not Dennis. I mean, who else? I mean, who's saying this?
I mean, it's a fast network. They have a lot of capacity down there. They've done a nice job to roll out the POPs of 5G UC.
I mean, as they should have. Yeah, they should.
Yeah, they started their build in 2020, and we're at a point where we're at 3.5 years, and they're cooking and they're selling and monetizing that build. And they're in a position of strength right now because of that early access to dedicated mid-band spectrum. And now it's Verizon's turn to close the gap, and AT&T's closing the gap, and I think it's a good situation right now. I think this is a better version of T-Mobile with respect to the network that we would have saw otherwise.
So, bro, with this,
Alex says he cares about 4K. Another super chat, man.
I don't care about 4K. I just care about
all I require of Verizon.
I don't care about 4K, but what I do care about is not having my bandwidth throttled to 1.5 or 4 meg respectively. If Verizon allocated even 10 meg to video, 8 meg even, 8 meg, I'll take 8 meg. If they allocated 8 meg, I'd be a little bit happier because 1.5 buffers on everything that's not 480p, and 4 meg basically buffers on everything that's not 720p.
Dennis, can I ask you something, bro? This is specific to your market, right? When you leave your house, which is like every third Tuesday of the year, all right? When you leave your house, when you look at your phone, is it usually connected to 5G UW? Is it usually connected to 5G UC? Is it usually connected to 5G plus?
For AT&T, I would say it's usually connected to just regular 5G, not 5G plus.
So like what, 40% of the time it's on 5G plus?
Sure. Maybe 50%.
All right, Verizon 5G UW.
Verizon's 5G UW maybe like 65%.
And T-Mobile's 5G UC?
Maybe like 85%.
Does any of that change the experience between the three?
I mean, if you're on Verizon's 5G UW, yeah, you're not running into the problem of video being throttled. It works great. But if you're on anything that's not UW, which still happens quite often, it sucks for video. For
720p is just fine. It really is, man. This is just at the end of the day, Verizon's engineering team is smart to properly manage their network in places or in areas of the network where they know they can't guarantee a premium 4K experience.
I'm not asking for 4K. I'm just asking for 8 meg.
All I want is to not buffer. I'm not even picking a resolution, and I still get buffering.
Yeah, like I'm asking for 8 megs so that I don't have to deal with buffer. That's my point.
My stuff doesn't buffer. So I mean, I guess that's anecdotal. I don't know.
Use a different paintbrush in your market.
But yeah,
I'm using the same LTE everyone else is.
I'm asking for 8 megs so that when I load up a YouTube podcast that's like 4 hours long, I can instantly scroll and load it up within a few seconds instead of having to play it from the beginning and waiting like 35 to 46 seconds for it to freaking load up the next part of the scroll that wasn't in the buffer at the initial load. That's what I'm asking for. And then going back to Sneed's question, for AT&T, literally it doesn't matter if I'm an LTE 5G or 5G plus, because in all sincerity, in my market, they all perform pretty similar, to be honest, from a capacity standpoint. And then for T-Mobile, essentially as long as I'm not on band 12 only or band 71 only, T-Mobile works fine. But if I'm on those 5 megahertz chunks of band 12 or band 71, then it's just...
Carlos, jump in, man. Let me get you in here, bro.
Bro, even my freaking AT&T prepaid line is uncapped. And I'm not paying for a video add-on.
You don't have to. Not with Verizon, you don't have to.
Yes, you do. On AT&T, it don't matter if I'm on band 12, it's uncapped.
It's uncapped on Ultrawide, man. Get Ultrawide,
yeah, but you got to be on Ultrawide. That's the point you keep missing. If you ain't on Ultrawide, that does you no favors. You still get buffered.
Also, can we just acknowledge the fact that being on Ultrawide isn't even always the best thing anyway? There is plenty of times
that's not exclusive to any carrier, though.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
I hear what you guys are saying, but I mean the network's not finished being built out. If you're in Greensboro, they have Ultrawide in Greensboro. I don't know what to tell you. guys.
listen
But
to me. Your statement about ultra wideband, will be valid when Verizon has ultra wideband coverage literally everywhere that their native network exists.
Well,
until that day comes, it is a moot point, because as I was going to say, there are plenty of times where even if there is ultra wideband in theory available in your market, if you're far enough away where the signal is literally like less than a bar, like I'm talking like minus like 125 dB, you're literally going to be getting like 1 meg on it because the signal's so weak, to the point where it doesn't matter that it's quote unquote uncapped, and you'd be better served if they just let you load the video on the beautiful Band 13, Band 66 combo that has brought Verizon through many a decade.
That people complain about today. The same 66 and 13 that people complain about today.
I am saying that the code is the type.
I am saying that networks are a combinations of spectrums, and that the beautiful thing about ultra wideband is it frees up those limited other channels that should be used when you're far away from a cell site.
Agreed, but that doesn't necessarily mean those channels that are freed up need to be, allotted for 4K streaming or anything else. I don't think that's necessary.
We're not worried about.
Let me get to some super chats, gents. This one from Ultimate Illusion, 5 bones. Thank you. For one person, T-Mobile versus Verizon on the top tier, $90. Save a few dollars on taxes with T-Mobile, but it isn't worth it for the real coverage loss for those living in the Western U.S. And from Giuseppe Jimmy, the super chat, he said, "What's up, Dennis 4.0 and Sneed? What up, man?"
What's up? I just want to highlight EM Tech. Brian, you're fighting a losing fight, homie. And from Mike, Brian, you're outnumbered and outgunned.
I couldn't care less. I'll stand by myself. I'm good. Just because you got a crowd doesn't necessarily mean you're right. I'll be by myself. I'm good with that.
I'm busting your balls.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, I just don't think Verizon needs to invest all that stuff into LTE. That's not necessary.
Every carrier has their flaws. So, like, for instance, AT&T, right? Their flaw is the fact that they don't have like a really true contiguous N77. It's kind of split into 2 frequencies. I think that's a flaw, right? But that's my only flaw with their network. With respect to T-Mobile, they're in a rush to decommission LTE, and it's impacting the NSA operations, and it's changing the network experience, especially those still on iPhone 11s, right? So in my opinion, that's their flaw. And I also think the SA connection here in Cleveland is horrible. It's crushing batteries. Well, that's a separate issue, but it's really unpredictable and it's unreliable. Now, Verizon is what you guys described. The fact that the network experience is night and day when you move between LTE and 5G UW. On 5G UW, sky's the limit. You're eating pie in the sky.
Isn't it supposed to be, though? Like, isn't it supposed to be?
It is. But then when you're on LTE, how about this? If I'm watching a 1080p video and it's 5G UW, so it's all good. If I am moving and I move to LTE, it's going to buffer.
Yep. I mean, my mind doesn't buffer. So I mean that I don't know. That seems to be anecdotal.
Well, I guess
theoretically, it could
your phone from across the nation. Then,
well, I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, if your experience is valid, then mine has to be valid too.
I mean, you can easily replicate what happens by literally doing this at home. Load up Netflix on your TV, go into your router's QoS settings after Netflix is like done its initial load, and just cut the bandwidth down to 1.5 meg. Watch as your 4K Netflix either instantly buffers after like 2 seconds, or at the very least, you'll watch Netflix automatically adjust the resolution on your TV so that it looks potato quality. Even though 1.5 meg could technically do 480p or even 720p maybe, right? Technically, it could do that. That's not how streaming services interact. They'll go down to potato 240p quality on your big, beautiful TV. And that's what happens in the real world, too, with, like, phones. Like, it's not... Like, it's not about the video resolution for me, like, guys. I want to be clear. I don't give a damn what wording they want to use on the video resolution. What I actually care about is the raw bandwidth. All I ask is for 8 meg, because most Every streaming site is going to play differently. Every streaming site uses different codecs. It's optimized differently. I've talked about this before, and I'm not the only one that watches anime. Crunchyroll runs like absolute garbage and is unusable on Verizon.
Nobody watches anime anymore, bro. It's 2023, dog.
Oh, right. I'm the only weeb on the panel. But Crunchyroll runs like absolutely cannot run on Verizon's network because of the video throttle.
What does it
Dennis,
need?
do you watch Rocco's Modern Life, bro?
It needs 8 meg. 8 meg and it's happy.
I just want to correct Tech Guy 32 once again, who keeps saying inaccurate stuff. Verizon's not losing postpaid consumers. It's just the postpaid phones. That's it. They actually grew 600,000 postpaid customers in Q1. So I'm gonna keep saying that every time you say it, so we can just continue to repeat ourselves. Just a I guess that's a retention effort.
Are you showing us an Legacy Unlimited plan that's uncapped? Or
my point is, the point I'm trying to show is that AT&T isn't punishing me just because this tower doesn't have N77. They're still giving me the gravy. I mean, a prepaid line. That's just your market. I cannot attest to that in my market, where I also have the LTE phone and I never ever buffer at any point in time while on LTE. So I'm not sure.
Is pointing out another good example. Live streaming services. That's not a cross-country. Live streaming services especially suffer from this because there is no buffer that can be built. It's literally real time. So the 1.5 meg, absolutely miserable experience. And you can't say that there aren't a lot of gamers out there because that's what Twitch is for. So, but
Dennis, what's up with the 21,000 customers that Brian Roberts lost, bro?
Oh, damn, son. Damn, son, Brian Roberts.
Man. Oh, he's.
Can we talk about the 5,000 net ads that they had?
Exactly, official Tim Tech. I hear you, man. I mean, you can talk about a buffering experience with any of these carriers, yo.
Yeah, but one is a self-inflicted plan-based issue. It's not because the capacity doesn't exist. It's literally because it's artificially limited. Whereas in the other example, it's because in this person's case, the network isn't up to snuff in that given particular area.
A buffer is a buffer. And I don't think the customer really cares why it's buffering. They just see that it's buffering.
Watch this. Dennis, which connection is greater? Verizon 5G UW or AT&T LTE?
I'll take my AT&T LTE.
I knew it.
Well, we knew that was going to be the answer.
I knew it.
That's just like asking.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Tell me why, Dental.
Because with my AT&T LTE, I'll actually get to make full use of it with my unlimited elite plan. Whereas with the Verizon 5G UW plan, I have to deal with Verizon shenanigans. and if we're talking about actual coverage, all of AT&T's network is LTE. Only 200 million pops or whatever amount of square mile footage is UW. So you're reducing Verizon's network size of usable coverage to me.
They work just fine.
Dennis, what about UC, bro?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. T-Mobile's UC, when done right, like when they have an actually fully updated site, it's honestly pretty freaking incredible. Like, I've seen as high as like a gigabit per second over midband from T-Mobile at certain spots, down and like 100 meg up. I've seen some pretty impressive speeds from N41. I won't lie.
So where do y'all see T-Mobile 1 year from now? Now that John Saw's going to take over the tech side.
Are we still talking about T-Mobile leaps and bounds ahead of the other two?
Yeah, I mean, because basically he created the 2.5 network.
I don't think so. I think Verizon really like from a 5G UW pop standpoint and 5G UC, like when we look at the pops, millions of pops or whatever, I think they're going to be basically the same. You know,
yeah.
Maybe T-Mobile has an extra 10 or 20 million pops, but it's not going to change anyone's life. You know, like my market's done. You know, yeah, Pete.
We want everything to be basically the same, so they're not competing on coverage or capacity. They're treating on who screwed you over the most.
Well, that's why I think, like with Brandon's question, is it's hard to answer. Like, what's the metric for success by John Saw? Like, is T-Mobile's network just going to be better? Is it going to be more redundant? Is it going to be more reliable? I don't know.
How? I mean, they still got some work to do as far as fixing their voice coverage, all that kind of stuff, their voice performance. So maybe he can help with that.
Yeah,
maybe he can help with that.
So they don't need his help with that. What they need to do is fix the Vonar codec they're using, go with the Dish one, and then go wide scale.
I agree, but I mean, maybe he's the one that pushes them to do that at scale across the country. I mean, I can't see why that's not an easy fix. Just like you said, Pete. Maybe he's the one that pushes them to do that.
I've done Vonar to Vonar calls, and it sounds as crisp as a circuit switch landline, which you could hear dead air on, not just nothing.
Oh, wow. Big shout out to Joe. Thank you for the coffee, man. He said, keep up the great content, Sneed. Thank you, man.
So, what Joe sent you the coffee, Sneed?
Just says Joe. I don't think I could see which one.
Hey, so Brandon.
I got one from Jose Santana.
Jose,
yesterday, and he doesn't seem to be in chat.
Hey, so Brandon, I didn't look at the Comcast earnings reports, man, and I kind of wanna hear about that. I'm fine to.
You want me to pull them up? I can pull them up. Okay. I got you, bro.
Yeah, I would love to see how many lines they were able to have added this quarter. Let's see what happens.
I honestly feel Comcast is slowly following the same footsteps as old AT&T it was.
What does that mean exactly?
How they have all this media and they're basically not focusing on I mean, they are focusing a little here and there on broadband, but I feel they're focusing more on media, especially on Peacock. And even making their X operating system.
I still got to give credit to Randall Stevenson, man. I understood what he was trying to do. It made sense.
Bro, he's literally going to go down as the worst CEO in telco in the history of the industry. Are you serious?
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know.
Really? You don't know about that? Name one that's worse.
Absolutely not. Everybody who's ever run Sprint? Yeah. What do you mean?
No, maybe Gary Forsey. Maybe.
Everybody who's ever run Sprint is way worse than Randall Stevenson.
Hell to the no.
What about Charlie Ergen?
Yo, Sneed, you know Sprint went out of business, right?
Yeah, but do you know that it was because of one person?
No, all of them had a combination. Isn't that Dan Hesse the one that decided to purchase Nextel? That was him.
No, Gary Forsey.
Dan Hesse was the one who was the CEO at that time.
Gary Forsey was the one who did the Nextel thing, and that's why I said he's the only one you could make an argument what could be worse than Randall Stevenson.
I don't know, Steve.
Randall Stevenson, I swear to God, I've had conversations with guys in the industry. They literally said Randall Stevenson and those acquisitions of Warner Media and DirecTV are going to be in textbooks for corporate failure.
Wait, Sneed.
I don't care what the textbooks.
That acquisition, it was horrible. I got to live it.
I mean, listen, I mean, AT&T was already a case study in my undergrad when they had that really poorly executed integration of AT&T and Singular. They were part of my undergrad program in IST, so it wouldn't shock me if I end up seeing a freaking case study about that DirecTV purchase in my master's program.
So that was bad. Also going to see examples of spinning out subsidiaries with 70+ billion in debt to recover from that.
All right, here we got the revenues and stuff for Comcast.
Look at them with the pretty PowerPoint slides. Continue.
$30 billion in revenue, $9.4 billion adjusted EBITDA, 92 cents EPS, almost $4 billion in free cash flow, 3.2 in return of capital. Looks good. We see a lot of pluses. That's good. Connectivity platforms. Let's see. I'm looking for anything that's concerning. Business looks good. They got revenues.
Up 8% on domestic broadband.
Yeah, stuff looks good. Free cash flow looks good. Return of invested capital, that looks good. Investors like that. Let's see here. I'm looking for the wireless. I want to take a look at that. Media, who cares?
I think we can easily.
Are you serious? They didn't even talk about wireless.
I think you scrolled.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed.
I think I saw a Mario movie ad in there. I think that's better than Comcast did this quarter.
Well, I think we can quickly say at the death of cable that people were talking about is definitely not here.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it was never gonna die. People just like to see stuff fail for whatever reason. But yeah, Comcast and Spectrum, those guys will be fine, especially if they continue upgrading their networks and everything. They'll be fine.
How the hell do I access their wireless stuff? This is crazy. Oh my god. Let's see if it's in the earnings release, maybe.
So do they have a net loss quarter or a net add quarter for broadband?
They had 5,000 net adds.
That's better than
That's
a net
embarrassing,
loss.
Dennis.
That's better than net loss.
That's embarrassing. They were minus 10,000 last quarter.
How much of those went to DSL and fixed wireless?
No one's going to DSL, Pete. No.
I don't know. I left Comcast twice for DSL, and the DSL had better uptime.
Let me see. They added 3.
They lost 615,000 cable customers.
Yeah, but they've already talked about how they're like fine with that. Essentially, they're just trying to convert them into Peacock people at this point.
By the way, Peacock sucks.
Disagree.
It reminds me of Dennis.
Oh man, what is this?
Peacock is free, so
not anymore.
Just because it's free doesn't mean it's good.
No, but it also means it doesn't immediately
So is PBS,
either.
Dennis.
Hey, PBS, in my opinion, is better than Peacock.
Listen,
Okay,
did you
now
not
you're
grow up
tripping.
on PBS for kids, Brandon? Did
Now
you
you're
not have
tripping.
a childhood?
Yeah, but so it's also for old people.
Watching
I
down to that.
love PBS NewsHour.
Oh god.
Hey, unlike some places, they do equal time for opinions.
Hey, so here's a question. As far as home internet goes, right? When do we
Wait,
think
did you see how many Verizon gained? 400,000 on the fixed wireless side.
I did.
Yeah, and T-Mobile adding 530,000. Hey Dennis, can we talk about 950,000 net adds between Verizon and T-Mobile?
Well, this is what I'm going for. So, as far as home internet goes, right? Right now we're seeing fixed wireless see large net adds. But I think you'll agree with me, Sneed. I don't think it's going to be a sustainable thing that happens every single year.
Do they have 2 more years like this?
That's what I was going to have a discussion of. How much longer do you think this goes on?
5 quarters, 6 quarters, maybe.
So
I agree.
next year.
I agree.
Yeah, I think like 2024 at some point. That's the run.
I acknowledge that. I think like.
But the one thing I will give, I think it's going to be Verizon who's going to actually squeak out the last, 500,000. I think it's going to be Verizon because of the C-band in rural America. I think that's going to be the difference maker. When they get the clearance, they get the 200 megahertz. That's where I think it's going to be magic.
Now, my next question as a follow-up, once that happens, right, once we hit the plateau of where they stop getting these massive net quarters, what do you think the churn looks like on the fixed wireless? What do you think the churn will be? The
churns, they say that 90% of people that have used fixed wireless say it's good enough and they keep it. So there is churn. 90% is the conversion rate.
I'm going to take a gander and say that by 2020, by like end of 2024, so like as we're getting into these like last quarters, I think we start seeing massive net losses for fixed wireless. And hear me out on the why. Hear me out
What
on the
is
why.
this? What is this from Bam Blam? He said, I thought there was no sucking the sack.
I don't know, but hey, but Pete, but Sneed, hear me out. I'm predicting. So like Q3, Q4 of like 2024, I'm predicting we start seeing net losses for fixed wireless.
Really?
And the reason why I'm saying it for around that time is because it's around that time when you see a big swath of like college students getting ready for their fall semester.
All right.
And
let me ask you something, Dennis. Let me ask you something, man.
Go ahead.
Do you expect the venom for cable to just disappear?
I am anticipating.
That is, I want to ask you, and you better not lie. No cap. You tell me the truth. When is the venom for Verizon going to go away from you? You see my point?
You, Dennis, you could say shortly after my AT&T venom disappears.
When does the venom wear off, dog? That's my point.
When Verizon pays off my house.
That's my point, is these people got venom, dog. They will stay on fixed wireless to avoid cable. They got bad experiences, dog.
Yeah, but it's around that time frame that the mid.
I'd rather give Elon $120 a month for half-ass Starlink than give Cox Communications $50.
Yeah, but the time frame that I mentioned is also around the time frame where most of the mid splits should be done for Comcast, so they should be having the 200 upload, give or take, and most of their footprint.
That ain't the argument. We know what cable is going to be able to do with
you
DOCSIS
know,
4.0.
You know, fiber could do 200 upload in the noughties, right?
That's right. Come on, Dennis. What you got to say?
Dennis, I dedicated this avatar towards you, bro.
The Comcast logo?
Yes.
You know, people might hate Comcast, but Comcast is still typically one of the only hardwired options that provides high capacitive speeds.
Which is why I'd sooner go to T-Mobile Business Internet than Comcast.
Yo, Dennis, when is Big Cable going to stop with the balloon pricing, the explosive? When are they going to make that adjustment? Because fixed wireless access is killing them on that.
I mean, they're already doing 2-year no contract. Hell, 3-year no contracts.
And do you think that helps them?
The no contract, I definitely think helps them. Yeah.
So why do they insist on continuing to do it in other regions?
They're not doing contracts anymore. We talked about this like a year ago.
They're not running a 1 year. Aren't they doing a 1 year?
None of their promos have any actual contracts. They're just insert.
Comcast is Xfinity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they're running a 1 year for the free line, but you're paying what, $50 for the internet, and they give you the modem and the router or whatever.
Right, it's a promo, but it's not a contract.
My brother.
Okay, so what happens after the year, Dennis?
Price goes up. You start paying for the mobile.
My brother has a contract with Comcast in Longmont.
How old is promo? Because they haven't been doing that for a long time now.
I think they ninja'd it in at the end of the window at one point.
Oh, damn. Carlos just dropped a video. T-Mobile always selling Wolf tickets. Oh, shit, Carlos. Oh, yo, Carlos, you're not going to give me a copyright strike if I show it on the channel, right? What?
Hello?
Yeah, Lucy there?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm on the mobile hotspot right now.
Oh, come on, bro.
Bringing up.
Well, I mean,
I'm on the business since ago.
Well, I'm not surprised. You're having issues.
Of course, I'm just testing it out. I'm testing it out because people say I don't test out, so I'm testing out the business since ago, and I'm not gonna. What the hell? Why would I give you a copy strike, bro? What the? Are you crazy?
I just had to
smoke crack.
It's like if you want to do it for my channel,
bro. I think Sneed has a fever.
Oh, come on, Lewis.
I think he needs to drink more during the day.
Drink more what, bro? You know,
Water.
I don't be sipping the sauce, bro.
That's dehydration. You gotta hydrate.
Bro, I just hit the body armor. Peach mango with the coconut water. I do need coffee, Jose. That's right. I just got one. I'm going to have to make some. Stay caffeinated, my friend.
I'm making some cold brew coffee.
Double shot, Pete?
Nah. Wife took the espresso maker. But
Hey,
if you felt like using any of my clips, you could. I don't care.
Yeah, don't copyright strike me, Pete. Come on, bro.
Why would I do
Bro,
that? I'm the producer.
Hey, Dennis, you'll get a kick out of this.
Sure.
This was a quote from Mike Sievert. He said, big cable, in regards to the competition and how they're taking share, you know, they add like 900,000 net ads a quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
He said, those aren't real net ads. They are seemingly out of nowhere, and they're not coming from other carriers like Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile.
what
is he talking about?
That's coming from.
Where are they?
That's what I wanted to say, bro.
But everybody want to have jokes about Hans. Everybody want to joke on Hans. Hans ain't never said no dumb mess like that.
I don't know, but I just wanted to share this. Going back to our
TRDR, Dennis.
It's going back to our earlier price comparison.
Shit. But Dennis, another thing.
Wait, you just moved the goalpost, bro. I didn't build the plans like that. I didn't build the plans like that. In my opinion,
bro,
I think the Verizon Get More Unlimited plan is better than the Go 5G Plus plan.
That's because it is.
What drugs are you smoking?
Excuse me?
It's better.
You heard me. You think it's a better plan than Go 5G Plus?
I do. Yes.
It's better. I mean, let's talk about it. What do you think?
The network access is the best on the AT&T Unlimited Premium anyway. Out of all three, the AT&T Unlimited Premium is the best network access.
Depending on the market.
Okay, but we're talking about the plans. We're talking
the plan itself, the Verizon Get More Unlimited is the best.
Explain.
Doesn't it have industry best hotspot?
Yes.
Doesn't
it have industry best perks?
It's 50 gigs versus 50 gigs across the board for these.
Is it not industry best? Why are you saying the shit that's right and telling me I'm wrong?
It's
industry best hotspot. Yes or no?
Yes.
And T-Mobile has industry best growth. Continue.
No, Verizon has best hotspot because after on C-band you get 3 megabits and all the other ones only give you 6.
This is fruitless.
Bro,
I'm not going to sit here and state facts and be told I'm wrong.
Verizon has the best
gives you 3 megabits
regardless.
on ultra-wideband. After that, and that's still usable, Sneed. You're still able to do homework.
Bro, I understand, but I'm just trying to state the facts, and I'm getting derailed. Why?
I'm on your side, Sneed. I'm with you, man.
State your facts, Sneed. I'll be quiet while you do it.
Right, all three. Verizon seems to be the most consistent.
Well said, Pete.
The best network access will be on the AT&T Premium Unlimited. The best overall value and the best overall package is going to be the Get More. The best pricing to value ratio will be on T-Mobile. They're each different and they have a certain strength to them. If somebody's number one factor and the primary concern is cost, they're getting the Go 5G Plus.
Now, Sneed, this is what we should be competing on. Which one gives you the best feature for the price you're looking to pay, and not which carrier gives you the best coverage?
Big shout out to Bam Blam with the super chat. He said, I thought there was no sucking the sack allowed. I like Bryant, but he was modeling those red check marks. Say no.
Damn. Come on, Bam. If you can't afford Verizon, just say that, man.
No, that ain't it.
Just say that, man.
No, he felt so strongly about saying this. He paid $10.
Yeah,
exactly.
Bro, he had to get it. I mean, I saw it before. I acknowledged it before. He put it in again.
Hey, man. I'm good.
Thanks, Bam Blam. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah.
The part that really got to me about that blood sucking bastard is that he literally talks all that shit, bro, and says, about cable and the free lines, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You give free lines too. You've been doing it since fucking 2015, bro. Get out of here.
Yo, Carlos,
they're the founder of free lines.
Selling wolf tickets, Los.
Bro, they're the ones that sell the most wool tickets there are, bro. Like, get out of here, bro. What, you're hating because Spectrum Mobile added all those ads?
In the NFL.
Lowe's, I'm still waiting for the numbers from Verizon for how many 4-line want mores they signed up.
The want more, Pete. What about the 3G shutdown? They're still reporting losses on that.
Yeah, so I want to hear about the want more ads for 3 or 4 lines.
You mean the want more 3G plan?
but it's the facts are the facts, bro. He is hating that it is working for one of their competitors, even though it's an MVNO. He hates the fact that they're using the same play move that they did, and they're winning. And at the end, it makes Verizon win too.
Yeah, but here's the one thing that's different, Los. Just leave the personal stuff out of it. The one thing that's different is T-Mobile's growing in broadband. The other guys are shrinking.
Of course. I'm not saying no on that.
Yeah, that's the only difference is when we look at the metrics and the growth, T-Mobile has that on their side. They're adding 500,000+ every quarter.
But why are you talking smack when somebody else is using your play moves, man?
I agree, man.
You're talking about, those are
it's a copycat industry for sure. Yeah.
Those are inflated ads. Like, get the hell out of here. You're inflated ads too. You
Carlos, he
bastard.
said no, his exact words was those aren't real lines. He said that they're not coming from carriers. He said they're seemingly coming out of nowhere. Like it's like people are adding.
So in the industry, most lines are effectively coming out of nowhere. You do not get the organic growth for these ads, including the churn. A lot of lines in industry are coming from people adding another carrier to what they're using.
Pete, if you're adding 500 to 600,000 net adds every quarter, shouldn't the revenues reflect that? They only incrementally increase. They should be going up a lot.
That doesn't even make sense. So CBRS is going to save? All right.
John Legere didn't even throw. John Legere didn't even throw those jabs, bro. He actually respected the other thing, except for throwing jabs at the company. But he respected the moves. You feel me? Like this dude, he's just like whatever it takes to take a cheap shot, bro. Like this guy's a joke. Screw Eugene, bro.
No,
John Legere, he threw shots too. John Legere,
I was gonna say, I don't know about that. I was gonna say John Legere honestly was way more crass than the current CEO.
Yeah, Siebert is definitely more calm.
Bro,
than
you know what John Legere would have said at the freelance. He was like, "Look, everybody's copying us now." That's what he would have said. He wouldn't have sat here.
Yeah, he would have been like, everybody's copying us. This would have been his energy. He'd been like, yeah, everyone's copying us now, but they're doing it worse because they're dumb and dumber. And he would have went into a big old spiel about how dumb and dumber can't change.
On Verizon, you can get 2 free lines on a new plan, but you're capped at 300 megs a second.
But y'all want to know something? If y'all really think about it, sometimes in some cases, Verizon and AT&T might actually be cheaper than T-Mobile because of corporate discounts or their job.
AT&T, sure. Verizon, I doubt. But
corporate discounts have died out a lot.
T-Mobile is starting to add corporate discounts too.
I mean, again, Verizon never said they were ever going to try to be cheaper than anybody in any way, shape, or form, unless it's prepaid or MVNO. They don't seem to be that company that's trying to out cheap anybody. So I don't think Verizon's feelings are hurt because somebody's saying another company's cheaper.
Real quick, I just gotta say that the live chat tonight is fantastic. You guys are the best.
It has been great.
Tech, the super chat. Thank you, man. Sweaty armpits, Eugene lying so hard, even Ledger is blushing. I can't defend the fake uncarry anymore. They're selling wolf tickets. Love the wolf tickets remark, so I'm with it. I support that. Ahmad says, anyone know where I can get Red Dogs tomorrow? I don't know if they do them on Fridays, bro.
No, you got to get them on Taco Tuesday.
Well, they're not on sale, that's for sure. So if you're looking for some cheap ones, you better go to Visible and get some blue ones, bro. How about that?
Wait. You got to go on the weekends because they're at Macy's.
And they cost a bit. You got to pay like $25 for a thong, and they're shitty captains.
Hey, so Sneed, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Have you used any prepaid or MVNO companies recently?
It's been a while, but I think I want to review Visible, and I want to do Project Fi. Well, Google Wireless, whatever they're called now. I'm going to do that.
You want to see how they do T-Mobile? See if
I want to do
better
Cricket
than
also. I think I can get Boost on the cheap or on the low. I think I may be able to do that myself. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a prepaid summer. You guys think I should do that?
Sneed, you want to see if Google Wireless gives you better T-Mobile than our sponsor, Mint Mobile?
Yeah, that's right, Blind G-Tech. I did buy them all, but they are not on sale. So if you can't afford them, don't even ask. but I got some blue ones that you can get on MVNO. Some visible joints.
Are you talking about the plus thong, or are you talking about the regular one?
I'm talking about the red joints. Since everybody's saying I got the thongs, that's cool, but they're not for sale. So if you can't afford them, just say that, man.
Listen, let's get it straight, okay? It's magenta thongs, it's red panty night, and then it's the blue Speedo. That's what we've decided.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man, but the red joints, they not for sale. So.
By the way, the blue Speedo is free. You just end up with property tax on your bill.
But yeah, Sneed, I think you should try. I think you should try out some of the prepaid companies. And what I think would be really cool is, in particular, is if you kind of did like a secret shopper. So like, I think it would be really interesting if you literally like, say had, I don't know, insert somebody call in with some like very obvious like answers from like customer service. Maybe it's just like activation problems, right? Like getting started, right? You could ask some like very obvious questions, very controlled, and have like a set ranking for like the customer service. And then you could do another set ranking for what you're absolutely god tier at, which is actually testing the network performance. And then maybe also look at like things like maybe you could have like a miscellaneous section, like ease of use of seeing like what your billing looks like, and do like a leaderboard scored based off of that. I think would be really interesting.
Okay.
Sneed, you should also text out the newly Cox Mobile.
Oh man. Why?
Who are they?
Oh man, he doesn't want Cox on his phone.
Why, bro?
Who are they using?
Verizon.
Oh, okay.
Hey, big shout out to we just hit the 50 member mark last night, man. Big shout out to the YouTube members, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. You don't want that Don Lemon line?
Hey, yo, y'all on one tonight, man. Y'all on the road tonight. Y'all on one tonight, man. That was perfect timing too. Oh man, y'all are crazy.
Hey,
I heard they smack you in the face with the
I need to say something because Steen knows it's the truth and Carlos knows it's the truth. I legitimately own AT&T apparel. They only sell employees thanks to the Connect. I bought like a hat, an AT&T shirt, and I am not ashamed to say I own some AT&T socks. But I also have T-Mobile clothes, and if Verizon wanted to hook me up with some clothes, I'd wear them too.
Swag dizzle.
Clothes.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
In fact, speaking of people that should be sending me clothes, Mint, back when I used to do best phone plans, sent me like this nice care package with some of like these really comfy shirts. Really love them. Great hoodie too. But I would love it if frickin' Dish would hook me up with some free swag. I would like a nice double XL hoodie would be great. Just saying, I could use a new hoodie if you're listening out there, people of Dish. I know you guys are based out of Colorado, I believe. So a double XL hoodie would be nice, and maybe a few T-shirts. Be cool.
Dennis, you're doing the double XL or just a regular XL?
No, double XL. I'm a double XL hoodie, man.
Damn, bro.
I'm a big boy.
Bro, I met you in person. You are not a double XL.
I'm a big boy.
No, not that big. You're human.
Sneed, I started doing double XL, not because XL doesn't fit or L doesn't fit. I just find it more comfortable.
You guys just want to slip and slide into those hoodies.
Hey, Dennis, when are you going to go see your soulmate in Colorado?
What's up?
When are you going to go see your soulmate in Colorado?
Are you talking about Pete or are you talking about Stetson?
Stetson.
I don't know.
That
Right
reminds me, one of these weeks I gotta have more cider with Stetson.
It was cool having him on the show, man. That was really cool.
Los, where you at right now? You at the lab or are you out and about?
I'm on the belt. I don't stay inside. I can't be inside cooped up like a bird or a jailbird. You feel me? I can be out free in the world. The world has a lot to offer.
That accelerator that picked up really quick.
Hey, question: Where is Dish anyway? Have they even added a customer since acquisition of Boost?
Bro,
I heard some
we're live today. We're live at 80. We're live at 80% in US already. We already beat our goal.
You said what?
What are you talking about?
They're at 80%.
They'll be making public announcement on that here shortly.
I don't know if you guys heard the disclosures from Mike Sievert, but he was asked about the spectrum, the 800 megahertz, the band 26, and he said, right now there's nothing going on with it. He said Dish has the rights to buy it, and they haven't made a decision on it yet, so they can still buy it if they want, and if not, apparently T-Mobile does not get it. It goes to auction.
Oh.
Yes, so then it would be some low band hitting the market. So who do you guys think wants it?
AT&T.
I don't think AT&T would want it.
Well, Dish doesn't want it, and Verizon, they're content with that 5 megahertz band 13 everywhere. So
I think Pete's right. I think it's AT&T.
Why would AT&T want the 800 megahertz though?
I'm dead serious. I think it's AT&T.
But they are. Hear me out really quickly. Hear me out, please.
Then, Dennis.
Hear me out.
You can expand band 12 with it.
Well, what I was gonna say, hear me out real quick, okay? AT&T already has the dedicated low band for FirstNet that they got. They already got their band 12. Right now, AT&T's main focus, and don't forget too, they have a variety of other spectrums, right, that they already have that are sub 6 gigahertz. I think AT&T's main focus right now is expanding their mid-band portfolio more than anything and trying to get larger swaths of spectrum on the cheap. I don't think they're going to fight fiercely for that low band.
I don't think anybody has to fight fiercely for it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be hard to get it.
You think it'll be on the cheap?
With AT&T, you do some spectrum swapping, you could have like 20 megahertz of contiguous low band.
If that is what happened, I could see them doing it. But honestly, out of the networks that need low band the most, I still think it's T-Mobile. I think T-Mobile is the one that actually needs the low band the most. I think T-Mobile would be the one that would be most aggressive to get it.
Hold up. S-Blue Tech is dropping truth bombs.
None of this matters until Congress does their job and lets the FCC authority on the spectrum.
Yeah, so...
Oh, well, I guess we're doomed because Congress doesn't do anything. So
another year and a half, maybe 2, before we could hopefully get people who are more willing to move forward than repealing stuff.
Well, EM Tech hits on a nail on the head. Stanky got hemmed for even hinting at the idea of purchasing that spectrum.
Yeah, I agree
for that. And that was crazy to me because why can't AT&T get that spectrum? Why not?
Actually, Archie actually brings up a good angle. You know what? I think it'd be the cable companies. Archie's right. I think the cable companies would be the ones to buy it. I think they would be the most likely ones to buy that spectrum.
It would make sense. It would make more sense than them trying to build out a bunch of CBRS only. Yeah, get some low bands, you can get some coverage.
Well, they already got some low band. They got a little bit of 600 in certain markets, but I think they would add this.
But that's only what's their names. That's Comcast, I think. I don't think.
Dennis, if they got this particular spectrum, it would be across the entire United States, right? It would be contiguous across the country.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't have anything contiguous. Then I mean, that would be a good buy. I agree with Archie Mobile. He's right.
Yeah, I think cable's the most likely, or T-Mobile just buys it back.
You know what I'd do if I was T-Mobile? If cable was trying to buy it?
No.
Prices.
You're going to bed.
Who's got the kiddos?
It's me.
Oh man, the little one, man.
You jack
I know
up
that
the
one.
price on 26, let cable buy it, and then you make a joke about ballooning prices.
Can I just say, by the way, that Band 26 when Sprint had it freaking sucked to be on.
It did.
Well, their density was really bad, you know, and if you were hanging on to a Band 26, I mean, you're in bad shape.
Dude, I've
Also-
roamed on Band 20. I've roamed on Band 26 with T-Mobile because of the legacy Sprint sites, right? Well, I guess it's not roaming, but you know what I mean. And
1X Life wasn't on Band 26.
literally, dude, it was horrible. It might have been LTE, but it was like being on 3G, like 512 kilobits per second.
Oh wow.
All right, guys, we're already at an hour and a half, man. This show was supposed to be an hour. What did you guys do? What did you guys
do? We do a recap of what I missed?
Yeah, T-Mobile had a really good quarter, and Bryant doesn't agree.
Well, you heard me like 3 days
I ain't
ago. All three of them were lying. Why do we even care?
Hold on. So at the end numbers, bro. Anyways, you got to look at the total numbers plus the numbers that they actually kept. I think what was it, 500 something, and then 200 and some thousand were the outcome that stayed. So that means they lost what, half? That went back to their original carriers or found another option. Numbers don't lie.
I mean, it's hard to say T-Mobile didn't have a good quarter.
They did really good in fixed wireless access. They added a shit ton of accounts. They still have some good momentum on their growth. Their ARPU improved by 1%.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's good, but it's not earth-shattering. 1%. You added all those customers and only got 1% ARPU increase?
That is the T-Mobile way, sir.
And hey, 1% every quarter, it adds up. It accumulates.
I mean, yeah, but that takes a long time to get anywhere near where the competition is.
As an investor, personally, I'm about that.
Hey, Brian, listen, hear me out, bro. They got the best network and they offer the best value. You can't beat
it. Stop it. Stop it right now.
Wait, are we talking about Verizon?
No, we're talking about T-Mobile. The first thing I heard Mike Sievert say at the Open was, we have the best product, best network, best pricing.
I wouldn't go best network, but
he said we're positioned with the best value, best network, best pricing.
I mean, they're the cheapest.
I agree with the value.
Everybody knows they're cheap. So, I mean,
and he said that's what the quarter showed. Best network, best value, best pricing.
By the way, when Verizon took a dip, I took the chance and bought up $50 in stock. I made 3% recently.
Already?
I got stocks with every telecom company. I got Dish stock, AT&T. I got Dish stock because of Carlos, which I regret right now. I have AT&T stock, which has been fine. I got
what? They just lost 11% a week ago. What do you mean?
But I got that sick dividend. And I've been holding on to it for a while.
17%. What are you talking about?
Oh, I was trying to be nice.
But I got AT&T. I got AT&T stock. I got Verizon stock. I got T-Mobile stock. I got Comcast stock. I got Spectrum stock. I got all the telecom stocks. I even got CenturyLink and Lumen.
What is Verizon up 3% since they reported earnings?
Hey man, the market agrees with me, yo.
Okay,
listen, I got stock in Brazilian telecom company.
I have 50 shares in Lumen. I'm waiting for T-Mobile to buy them.
I have 10,000 stocks of some random telecom company in Brazil that was like a penny a share.
T-Mobile's gonna buy Lumen with what money? We're gonna trade monopoly money?
Nah, they're going to create a subsidiary called Sprint, load it with $60 billion in debt, and with their freed up debt limit, they're going to take out a loan.
T-Mobile went down 3% today after hours.
Good.
Why are you saying good?
Market's wising up. Look, I'm sorry, I don't like that company. Market's wising up. It's about time.
Hey, hold on.
Let's see it.
So they were talking about stock buybacks. So this is the thing about it, though. You think they're pushing the stock buyback a narrative so quick because SoftBank wants their shares that they're owed from the merger?
Could be.
Because remember, they're due now.
Wow, Verizon went up 5% today.
I don't have Unity Fiber Trex, but I have Google searched it, and now I am interested. Are they on the stock exchange?
Who?
This Unity Fiber that Trex asked me, but I'm looking them up.
Oh, I don't know.
They're $3.11 a share. Oh, they're only $3.11 to share, and they've been going up a little bit over the weekend, but they're down overall. When I get paid, maybe I'll throw like 500 at them. Why not? They're cheap enough.
How did I do?
At $500, like $500, like whatever that gets me as far as shares.
Yo, Carlos, I literally can't wait to watch your video, dog. I'm about to watch it as soon as I shut down the stream. I can't wait.
I mean, look, I like to take take risks sometimes, and their dividend yield is pretty nutty. It's 19.29% dividend yield.
All right, guys, we're done. The show's done. Do me a favor, hit me with a like. Please do rate the video. If you're new here, subscribe. Turn on the bell. That way you know when we go live and we upload content. Hit me with your favorite hashtag for the evening. Hashtag Red Penny Night. Hashtag Magenta Thong. Or hashtag Blue Speedo.
I hate y'all.
Let's see what else, man. Thanks for all the super chats, everybody. There were a few, so thank you guys. Also for the coffees, there were a few of those. Thank you. Big shout out to the YouTube members. We're up to 50 members. Shout out to those good people, and also to the patrons.
Hey,
I think we're at about 90 patrons. Yes.
I know I'm in like the top 3 of patrons. Where did I fall in for YouTube members?
Are you on mmWave?
Well, I bought the top tier just
then you're at the top.
Integration.
I didn't buy the YouTube, but I've been with your Patreon since like forever ago. So
Dennis was definitely one of my first 10 patrons.
I think I was in the first 3, mainly because I didn't realize you set it up.
Yeah, big shout out to you and Dave. I think you guys were the first couple.
Yeah, he
Patreon
beat
supporters.
me, so I need him to lapse to be number 1.
Yeah, and there were some others too. There have been Carlos is one of the OGs too. Dennis is an OG. The guys that have been supporting me forever. Zero Cool as well. And then of course everybody here on the panel, I think at some point has either been a patron or supports the channel in some way, shape, or form.
Blind Juice Wild tonight. Look at this hashtag, Sneed.
Hashtag Lily Blue Panty Night.
By the way, I'm still waiting for EM Tech to give me the Zoomer word for those 4 coffees he got me.
I gotta send you the coffees. I gotta transfer the coffees.
Yeah.
You also need to come to Pittsburgh.
To give me a Zoomer word.
You also need to come to Pittsburgh, Sneed. Bring some of that one soda.
Yeah, the Vimto.
The Vimto.
Nah, Sneed. He wants mango juice and goat shawarma with extra tahini.
Guess what I did with the Vimto the other day, Dennis?
What'd you do?
I mixed it with Sprite.
That actually doesn't sound bad.
It was phenomenal.
I heard goat shawarma was really, really good.
Really
delicious.
I do want to say, I don't get to eat a lot of goat, but if you have goat dishes, I'm down. Goat.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I would love to try some of that because I've never had it before, but I've heard a lot of good things.
Slow roasted Billy Goat Gruff is so good.
By the way, my favorite eatery in Cleveland for some reason only sells beef and chicken shawarma.
Yeah.
I really, you know what I really like? Goat cheese. Goat cheese is really good. It's really strong.
All right, we're gonna do the food. We're gonna do the food combos after the show. All right, good people. 103 in the live chat. Y'all the goats. Thank you so very much for supporting, watching, commenting, subscribing, being supporters of the SMT. Please do share if you want to help out the channel. That gets the videos and the live streams happy in the algorithm. That's how you guys can help us. Appreciate it so much. Have a great weekend. We shall see you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.